Hello everyone, good evening and welcome to Roma Theory. It's been a bit, yes, I know, it was my birthday yesterday, so thanks to everybody who sent some birthday wishes on Instagram, on YouTube as well. I did read them all, so thank you from the bottom of my heart. Anybody who sent wishes and anybody who keeps on supporting this channel, as always. I wanted to start with that. We've got a lot to go through today. Now look. Zalewski, Galatasaray, not Galatasaray. Some sources say that Zalewski is not interested and that he's snubbed an opportunity to go play against Mourinho in Turkey with Galatasaray. Some other sources are saying that Zalewski is actually pretty close in accepting a Galatasaray move. He's asking around 2.5 million wage, and if Galatasaray were to offer that opportunity for him, then he would accept the destination. And yeah, I personally think that Zalewski topic again is another topic which is very divided amongst us Roma fans. You know, a lot of people have completely and utterly give up on Zalewski. You know, they don't want to see him anymore. They you know, sometimes I include me in that percentage, because sometimes Zalewski gives me impressions as he's never played this game before. But you know, the other percentage of fans want to give him another chance, especially coming from these great games with Poland, and that's the thing which triggers us with Zalewski. You know, with us, he never really gets that touch, gets that connection going, but when he plays with Poland, with his national team, he shines. And you know, we've got players like Lewandowski in that national team praising him week in and week out. So it's a topic which is inevitably going to have different opinions. Some people have given up, some people want to give him another chance. And then the other thing which I want to speak about is, again, this Pellegrini dilemma, which makes no sense. And yeah, look, I'm not going to spoil what I'm going to say on that front, because I think it's very interesting to keep to the second part of this video. But I sometimes I'm embarrassed. That the one thing that I will say to kind of introduce the Pellegrini dilemma topic is that sometimes I cannot believe what I'm reading about him. But yeah, right, yes, chronologically, let's start with Zalewski. But first, like target, right, you know what, we're back. Zalewski potentially leaving, birthday yesterday. If we can get 100 likes on this video, it would be great. So yes, subscribe if you haven't already, because we're like 10 subscribers away from 12,300. And also like the video, because yeah, 100 likes would be great. So if you can do that, thank you very much. Nathan says, my country is now against Italy, we are cooked. Oh mate, to be honest with you, I could not care less about the Nations League. Yeah, I'm not a fan of international breaks immediately after the season starts. I find them absolutely pointless. I find the Nations League itself absolutely useless. I'm only into World Cups and Euros. Other than that, I would not have a problem with abolishing international breaks. I really cannot stand them. It breaks the rhythm, and I find them so boring. Hello to Germanangus. Hello to Leonard. Pietro says, Kone just injured with France. Seemed bad. Oh my god. I mean, I didn't even prepare for that, because I think he's playing right now. Please don't tell me it's something serious. Oh my god. Right, I'm praying it's nothing serious, because otherwise we're back with the shit in that midfield without Kone. So, right, hopefully it's nothing big. Right, Zalewski. Zalewski's coming, and this is ironic. Zalewski's coming from some really good performances with Poland, and I can't hide that. You know, I can't hide that Zalewski is a completely different player with Poland. Now, of course, we have to contextualize, because I think contextualize is important. Zalewski has some really good games with Poland, but I also feel like there are two things which trigger us, which kind of make us give false hopes. The first one is that Poland has been playing against some not unbelievable sides, you know, I mean, they played against, what was it, Wales a few months ago, and then the last game they played against Scotland, and then I remember they played against Lithuania or Estonia. Yeah, it was one of these countries a few weeks ago as well. Whenever Poland plays against a bigger side, Zalewski does nothing. So that's the number one thing that I will say. Now, I would also say that international football is very different from club football. So kind of comparing the performances of a player with its own national team and with his club, I think are two very different things, and ultimately two very wrong things, because club football has, I'd argue, I mean, people would argue against this, but I would argue that club football puts way more pressure on a player. Unless you are from Italy, England, or even France, which, you know, really care a lot about their national their national team and always expect a lot from their national team, you don't really put pressure. You know, I'm not Polish. I'm not trying to be Polish. Respect to Polish people, but I don't expect the Polish population expecting anything spectacular from the Polish national team, and thus the pressure isn't at its max. So I ultimately think that comparing the two is completely wrong. International football is not competitive whatsoever compared to club football. So yes, he's been playing really well with Poland, but you know, there are a lot of things to consider. And the other thing that I will say with Zalewski whenever he plays with Poland is that, again, apart from Lewandowski, Zalewski has been placed in a context of players where he clearly stands out, because Zalewski's got the talent, but the problem is he never applies this talent whenever he plays with us. So the other thing which kind of gives us false hope is that due to the fact that, you know, Poland isn't amazing, their national team isn't spectacular, apart from Lewandowski, I couldn't name more than 3 players probably. He's been placed in a context where he does stand out. So it's normal for us to go, oh wow, he's playing great. So again, the thing which I would say here is, I think if we sell him, I don't complain, because we'd probably get something around 10 million and we're pretty covered in that position. I mean, Zalewski wouldn't even start because we've got Salamakers, and if Zalewski doesn't come second, it's probably El Shaarawy. So we're pretty covered in that area. We don't need, we wouldn't be in an emergency if we do sell him and lose him, because we've got Salamakers and El Shaarawy, and whenever Zalewski dropped down, we now also have a Hermoso who drops down. So that's not the thing. You know, the thing is, yeah, but on the other hand, if he stays, I also wouldn't complain. So I'm kind of 50-50. If we sell him, I won't complain. If he stays, I won't complain, because I know that if he stays, he's going to have more chances. And ultimately, if he doesn't prove us that he's got the quality and can apply this quality in Serie A games, Europa League games, with the pressure coming from the Roma fans, then, you know, we can sell him in the summer. So I'm not in a hurry to sell him. I wouldn't mind if we sell him. But again, I'd think about the price tag pretty well, because, you know, I'd be pretty smart with Zalewski. I would not ask less than 10 million. Not that Zalewski has proven to be somebody worth more than 10-15 million, but play on age, play on contract. This is how the transfer market works nowadays. So there is no reason why Roma would ask and should ask less than 15 million, less than 10-15 million to sell Zalewski. There is no way, because now, you know, transfer deals are all based on age, fitness, and probably also contract details. So Zalewski's not in the contract extension as far as I'm aware. Zalewski doesn't have a fitness problem as far as I'm aware. And Zalewski is also pretty young as far as I'm aware. So there is no reason why we can't ask more than 10 million. And that's going to be good. The problem with Zalewski is that, you know, it's the pressure. I've always said it. Zalewski in some games gives me the impression that he doesn't know how to play. But in other games, Zalewski shows us that he's got the quality. It's just that he doesn't apply that quality in a good way whenever he plays with us. because he feels the pressure. Because this fan base is a complicated fan base. I always say this because this is a fan base, including me. This is how we are. You know, I think the mediatic pressure, you know, and all of the social media, all of that doesn't help when it comes to basing our own opinions. And I'm a victim of this as well. I have to be honest with you. It's something about who we grow up as Roma fans, the environment that we're placed in, the stadium environment. I do this as well in match reactions. How many times have I attacked Zalewski? I take responsibility on it because I have attacked Zalewski before. But the problem with Zalewski is that he doesn't apply the talent that he has. So, you know, Roma's complicated. Roma's complicated because, you know, you play a great game and everybody compares you, headlines on newspapers are like the new Messi. And we've seen this. That game against Bodo Glimt, he provided that assist to Zaniolo, who then shipped it, looked like prime Roberto Carlos. Everybody was saying he's the next gem, he's the next young star. He got a candidate to the Coppa Young award. And then from there, the downfall. And then whenever you play a bad game, everybody starts turning against you. And he feels this pressure immensely because whenever he steps on that pitch, he looks lost. That's the problem with Zalewski. And we've given him chances, but the pressure is outweighing these chances because Zalewski has chances. We can't say that Zalewski doesn't get subbed in. Zalewski gets subbed in also on a regular basis, but he feels this pressure. So yes, we need to support him, but you know, Roma fans are impatient. So one time we're patient, two times we're patient, three times we're patient. After the third time, he will start getting attacked. And this is the problem with Zalewski right now. In Turkey, again, I mean, it'd be pretty, ain't gonna lie, it'd be pretty dumb for Zalewski to say yes to Galatasaray just because, you know, he had a chance to go to PSV Eindhoven in the Netherlands, champions of the Netherlands last year, plays the Champions League this season. So again, I think if he was to leave, then PSV Eindhoven would have been a better destination. But you know, we can't have that the Turkish league is rising. Osimhen just joined, Mourinho, Fenerbahce. You know, Turkish league is rising as well. So I don't think it would be a bad move for him. I think career-wise, I would go elsewhere. I'd probably stick around the top 5 competitions, leagues in Europe. But yeah, his decisions are his, and we'll see what happens. So that's that with Zalewski. He's like 2 goals, 4 official assists, and 3 assists that weren't counted, and penalty shootout in 11 games. He's the best player since 11 fucking games. He's the leader. I pray every day. Exactly. But he never does this with us because of the pressure he feels with us. This is on Gizolfi for not drumming up more interest. Well, you know, I also argue that one of the reasons why Galatasaray have shown interest in Zalewski yesterday is because the day after Poland played that game, Lewandowski massively praised him. You know, football is box office. Whenever you've got a legend like Lewandowski saying, Zalewski's a leader, Zalewski's a phenomenal player, Zalewski will be a big name in the Polish national team. You know, newspapers are going to write about this. So whenever Lewandowski starts speaking, of course the interest grows. I think it's exponential, and I think Lewandowski should be praised if we get 15 million for Zalewski, because there's definitely has been an element of firing this interest up from him. Di Marco's goal was very, very good indeed. Yeah, we played a great game against France. I wasn't watching it, I ain't gonna lie. I was watching Sinner play against Jack Draper that night. Up the Sinner, what a guy. Won the US Open yesterday. Really, really good. Very happy about that. Big tennis fan here. So yeah, again, I'm not a fan of the Nations League. I'm probably going to watch 20 minutes of that Israel game tonight. But yeah, I hate international breaks 2 game weeks after the season starts. It's pointless. It's absolutely pointless. And this tournament is absolutely pointless as well. You know, Italy is always good at turning up whenever we don't need to turn up. But whenever the obstacle higher is, Italy always bottle it in these last couple of years. Yeah, the last thing which I want to talk about, and then I'll end it, is this. Oh yeah, before I speak about this, there's quite a lot of you in, so please do hit the like. We're back, new week. We're playing on Sunday against Genoa. Lunchtime kickoff, interesting one. Birthday yesterday. Thank you for the birthday wishes. Hit that like button if you haven't already. Do it for my birthday. That's my birthday present for you. 100 likes would be great. And also subscribe to the channel. We're like getting closer to 12.3k. And that would be great. Right. With that being said, Pellegrini dilemma. Now, look. I am giving up on this Pellegrini situation. I am not even joking anymore. Pellegrini plays a bad first half against France, gets subbed off. The day after, headlines and everybody says he's injured. And with the news of him being injured, I am not even joking, I saw a big majority of Roma fans celebrating because of Pellegrini's injury. Now, I don't... You might like Pellegrini and you might hate Pellegrini. Pellegrini is very divided. Like, you either like him or you don't. We've come to the conclusion that you either like him or you don't. But to be a Roma fan and celebrate whenever your captain, one of your players gets injured, I find absolutely ridiculous. I find this ridiculous. I mean, I would also say that these fans who celebrate because Pellegrini got injured are not even Roma fans. It's ridiculous. Like, it's ridiculous how deep and how sad this Pellegrini dilemma is getting. Pellegrini is the most hated player at Roma by 10,000 miles. Pellegrini is by 100% the most hated captain in the history of this team. He will have his reasons. He won't have his reasons. But to celebrate because your player got injured so that you don't see him on the pitch, I find completely disrespectful and completely sad. Like, very, very sad. Look, I've also come to the conclusion that in some games it's better for Pellegrini not to start. But I don't celebrate if Pellegrini gets injured. I don't celebrate if Pellegrini isn't on the pitch. You know, ultimately, what I look at is results. And that's all I care about. You know, I care about single players not more than 20%. The majority of my interest is on the results. So if the result comes with Pellegrini, I celebrate. If the result comes without Pellegrini on the pitch, I celebrate. That is not why I celebrate. You know, I don't celebrate because Pellegrini is on the pitch or not. I celebrate because Roma wins or not. And I think that's what everybody should do here. So, you know, I had to say this because I've read a lot of comments of a lot of people going, yes, this means Pellegrini won't start on Sunday. And a lot, because, you know, if it's 2-3 people, haters, life is full of haters, and I wouldn't even be here. But there's a big majority of Roma fans who celebrated because Pellegrini got injured. And I find that pathetic. I find that absolutely pathetic. So, you know, it's getting to, this Pellegrini situation is getting too deep. Like, I am telling you, I cannot and I will not deal with this Pellegrini delving deeper every single week. Like, every single day, more hate goes on Pellegrini. The guy is the scapegoat of us fans. The guy is the target of us Roma fans, whether he's the captain or not, whether it's his personality who's weak or not, whether it's his leadership, his communicating skills, whether it's this fact that he's the captain after Totti and De Rossi. I don't know what it is, but I am defending him. That doesn't mean that Pellegrini needs to start. I think that's very different. I mean, not wanting Pellegrini to start games is fine, but that doesn't mean that you celebrate whenever he gets injured. So I think us fans need to, yeah, I agree, not more than chill. Some of us fans need to take things more seriously, because people who celebrate for injuries of their own players aren't fans. Like, you're not a Roma fan. If you've celebrated because of Pellegrini got injured, you're not a Roma fan. I mean, I would also go as far to say that you never celebrate if your biggest rivals lose their biggest player because of an injury. I find that very disrespectful. Of course, there's an interior side of yourself which goes, yes, their biggest player got injured. But, you know, you don't celebrate because somebody gets injured. You don't celebrate because somebody's sick. That's a base thing in everything, not just in football. So I have to get that, you know, I have to say this because I feel like this community is also very toxic on Pellegrini. toxic on a sport level. You know, I see comments of, you know, people saying it's Pellegrini's the problem on the pitch, Pellegrini's the problem on the pitch. And, you know, that's fine. But, you know, whenever the toxicity goes more than that, I think it's too much. Yeah, and the last thing which I'll say about Pellegrini is that, you know, this thing that he's always a bit too injured. I agree, he's injury prone. But the thing which makes me a bit confused about Pellegrini, I'm not saying his injury is fake, because then I'd be kind of contradicting what I just said in the last 5 minutes. But I do have questions as to why every time Pellegrini has a bad performance, the next day headlines come out that he's sick or that he's injured. You know, that's a question, that's a genuine question that I have, because there's a pattern going on that whenever Pellegrini plays bad, the next day, everybody reports that Pellegrini is injured. And Pellegrini never speaks about his injuries because his communicating skills aren't at its best. Yes, he is not the best of captains. Yes, he's not the best of players. But I think, and I would also go as far to say that out of all the midfielders that we have, Pellegrini is the only one who's capable of getting double-figure goals and potentially also double-figure assists in a season. He can do that. He can do that. Does that mean he'll do that? No. But out of all the midfielders that we have, he is the one who has got the capabilities of getting double-figure goals and also double-figure assists. But he needs to step up the game, because Cristante won't do that, Lefebvre won't do that, Koné isn't somebody who scores goals. Pizzilli can do that, but he's very young. Out of our midfield selection, he is the one who can change your games. But it's 2 years now that he's not been changing your games. And that is where you criticize him. That is where you demand from him a step up. And we'll see if you'll be there on Sunday, if this injury is true or not. Because on Sunday we have to win. You know, our season now starts on game week 3. We fucked it up in the first 3 game weeks. Game week 4 on Sunday is a new start. If we don't win, then absolutely we're going to lose it. Right, I'm going to catch you tomorrow. Don't forget to hit the like, subscribe to the channel. Italy's winning. I might go and tune in on that. Yeah. Right. I'm going to read a few comments. In Poland, we're at the point of no Zale, no party. Yesterday versus Croatia, it was Zalewski versus Croatia. He had to do that's exactly what I mean. You know, he doesn't feel the pressure when he plays for the Polish national team, and it's psychological. Italy won. Fratesi scored. El Shaarawy is not playing right. Don't know why. I think he's not in his best form yet. I think so too. On these players that don't perform too good right now, I think a loan is always the right choice. Yeah, but a lot of loans won't empty up your situation. You know, Zalewski is a player which I think Roma want to sell. So loaning him out is good, but then at the end of the season, he's back with you. A national team is firing on all cylinders right now. We should have got Fratesi when we could have. More sad when both parties wanted. Right. Sorry, fans celebrating Pellegrini injury or probably Mourinho haters? Yeah, I mean, Pellegrini and Mourinho haters don't get along. You know, Pellegrini and Mourinho unfortunately did not end well. And thus, Pellegrini fans and Mourinho fans don't get along. But we're not Pellegrini fans. You can like Pellegrini, you can like Mourinho. We're Roma fans. You know, we don't look at the individuals, we look at the collective. And that is all how we move forward. Collective, not individuals. I'll catch you tomorrow. Please do hit the like. 100 likes on this video would be great. If you're watching live or not, thank you again for the birthday wishes yesterday. Subscribe to the channel and I'll talk to you tomorrow. Simo out. Good night.